What's up? What it do? How you doing? I am back with another video. Today, EandE family, I'm showing you how to make Rice Krispie treats and brownies. Don't go nowhere. So we're going to start with our brownies first. So to this bowl, we're going to add a half cup of vegetable oil. You can also use butter for this. I like to use the vegetable oil because to me it makes the brownies more moist. But if you're going to use butter, you would use a half stick to 1 stick of melted or room temperature, no, melted, not room temperature, melted butter for this. But I like using the vegetable oil because it helps the brownies to maintain their moisture. Okay, so to that, we're going to add 1 cup of white granulated sugar. We are going to add 2 eggs. And for this recipe, guys, nothing has to really be room temperature for this, for these brownies. So that's our 2 eggs. We are going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. And for me, y'all know how I roll. 2 teaspoons of vanilla for me. But you can just add 1. Okay. So, that's our sugar plus our wet ingredients. So what we're going to do is take our whisk and we're going to mix that up. And just like with cake batter, guys, you don't want to overmix this because it can make your batter tough. Okay, so we got that all mixed up, and now it's time for our dry ingredients. And yes, for this, I am going to sift. So this is going to start with a half cup of flour. I'll dump that in there. Then we're going to add a half cup of cocoa powder. And if you get a little bit more than a half cup, I mean, it's brownies after all. So be it. Okay. Then we're going to get, and I need my specs for this, y'all. I need a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. Just a 4th. And a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Okay, let's get that down into our bowl. I like to get my spatula and mix that all together. Get all those ingredients well incorporated until everything is combined. This is what your brownie batter should look like. So we're going to get our pan, our pan for our brownies. And I'm just using this little square pan. It doesn't have the measurements on it. So I'm not sure the exact size of it, but everybody's familiar with the little rectangle brownie pan. So let me get some spray. I'm going to get our brownie batter added to our pan. And then I like to take my pan and kind of move the batter so that I make sure that I have every corner covered. And then for those air pockets, like that. And that's what your brownie mixture should look like prior to baking. So we're going to bake this in a 350-degree oven for 20 to 25 minutes or until the edges of the brownies start pulling away from the pan. And when we come back, we're going to make a frosting to go on top of these brownies. Y'all don't go nowhere. Okay, so on to our frosting for our brownies. So we're starting with 1 stick of softened room temperature butter. And remember, as always, y'all, I tell y'all all the time, the amount of powdered sugar you add depends on the sweetness that you like. So I'm just going in here with a measuring cup. I'm not really measuring it out, I just putting it in here. So that's a cup so far. So this is a 1/2 cup measuring cup. That's 2 cups. Well, this is 2 cups. Okay. Because it's brownies and not a cake, you don't want it too sweet, you know what I mean? But you don't want it undersweetened. So I'm going to push this down in here. Y'all know, start it up slow. And we're going to get this mixed around before we add our cocoa and the rest of our ingredients. So let's go. Oh! It went everywhere! So, there was a small catastrophe that happened with our powdered sugar. It started flying everywhere when I hit the thing to turn it up. So, I added 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and I added about 3 tablespoons of room temperature milk to go in here. So I'm just making sure that we've gotten all the butter well incorporated into this powdered sugar before we add our cocoa powder. So I'm going to turn this back on, and I'm going to let it spin for a few more moments before we add our cocoa powder and our salt. Okay, so next we're going to add a 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. If you like your, not a 1/4 cup, a 1/3 of a cup of cocoa powder. If you like your frosting more chocolatey than that, by all means add more. I'm starting with a 1/3 of a cup. And I'm adding a teaspoon of salt. Like that. So let's get all of that incorporated and make sure, we'll do a taste test to make sure we have enough cocoa. I want to do a little taste test to make sure that we have enough cocoa powder in our batter. Oh, that is perfect. That is spot on. So I'm going to continue to let this be. I do use a whisk attachment when I do this because I like the way the frosting turns out. We're going to continue to let this mix so that everything is completely incorporated. When we come back, we're going to get started on Rice Krispie treats. Y'all don't go nowhere. Okay, so we're back to get started on our Rice Krispie treats. So this is going to start by me melting 2½ sticks of butter. And I have a confession, y'all. I have never made Rice Krispie treats before. I know. Somebody after a video land is like, what? Never have I made Rice Krispie treats. So, you doing this with me for the first time if you've never made them either. Don't judge me. Okay, so we're going to get this butter in here. 2½ sticks. And we're going to melt this butter. Okay, so all of our butter has melted. To that, I'm going to add a couple teaspoons of vanilla. So next we're gonna add our marshmallows. Now I just bought the big old fluffy marshmallows. Some people prefer to use the mini marshmallows. I just picked up the bags that I saw and bought them. So we're gonna get them added to this, and from my understanding here, you have to stir this because this happens quickly. Okay, so our marshmallows melted down, as you can see. Okay, so this is our Rice Krispies. I started measuring out cups, and then I was like, why do that, Lex? You might not need the whole box. So this is, I think, 8 cups, and I'm just going to start stirring that in little by little. Okay, get some more added in, because I'm not 100% sure how much I need. I estimated maybe 9 or 10 cups that I would need of Rice Krispies. I know we want everything coated, though, in that marshmallow goodness. Okay, let's put a little bit more in there. We'll put the rest of those in there. Let's taste it. Uh-oh. Go ahead, Lex. Okay, so I have a buttered dish. Not buttered, but I sprayed it with cooking spray so that our Rice Krispie stuff wouldn't stick. So I'm going to get a spoon. We're going to ladle these Rice Krispie treats into here because I know we have to flatten them and all that. Okay. So we're going to let this sit and cool off a little. And when we come back, we are going to try some Rice Krispie treats and our brownies. Y'all don't go nowhere. Our Rice Krispie treats and our brownies are now complete. Y'all, I've never made a Rice Krispie treat in my life, but I was pinching off while I was waiting for everything to cool down and I could frost the brownies. And these Rice Krispie treats ain't half bad, y'all. They good. But our brownie is super chocolatey, very moist. Let's give it a try. Okay, so this is our Rice Krispie treat that I cut out. Don't mind how it looks. It's edible. So that's our Rice Krispie treat. Let's pull it apart. Ooh, look at that, y'all. Let's taste. Very buttery. It's different than the Rice Krispie treats you get from the store. Very buttery. I get that hint of salt. I taste the vanilla. Yeah, that's good. That makes me want to like Rice Krispie treats. Now let's take a look at our brownie. Let me give y'all a close up of this. Look at her. Look how beautiful she is. I know these are bomb. Yep, I'm saying it. They are bomb. I already know. But let's take a piece. Look at that in there. Listen. try these recipes out with your friends and your family. Baby, listen. I've said it once, I've said it twice. I've said it a billion times. Yes, they will not be disappointed. And that's it for today, EandE family. Like, share, comment on this video. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and click the bell notification so that you can be notified when a new video is uploaded. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook. The links are in the description box below. And as always, EandE family, don't forget to live a little and love a lot. Y'all be easy. You know, I'm going back into this Rice Krispie treat. I've had my brownies billions of times, but I've never had my Rice Krispie treats, and these are delicious. I'll try them out.